Tell me when.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, YGOunderground? This is Jeff Pircher here with an update on what you should be considering signing this regional format as we gear up to Nationals. So Nationals coming up and Primal Origins coming out, but before then, there's still some unfinished business in the regional world. So you're probably wondering like what you want to side deck and what you need to like not worry about. I think the number one deck that's going to be played like more often than previously would be Boojins. I think a lot of people don't really know how to play them, and you know they can catch you if you're not careful.
It's like cute.
So the cards that I think you should really be considering siding are for the Boojin matchup would be Memory of an Adversary, and this card is like pretty good against anything that puts anything generic like Fire Fist. Put a good generic rank 4 monster that you can take and then like poke people to death with. Especially if you're in the mirror match, it's a really good card. Light Imprisoning Mirror, it's really good. It stops all their graveyard effects. The only problem is it doesn't stop their Cranes in hand, which, I mean, it's not the worst problem, but, you know, you always got to play around that Crane, otherwise they just might take the game away from you. Another card, Zombie World. Not a lot of decks can side it, but if you can, you really should. I know Constellars can use it to go into Braum, which is a really cool card that can generate a plus for you. It's also good because it shuts off all graveyard effects, and like your opponent can't drop Crane on you. It's also really good against Dragon Rulers.
Yeah. And Monarchs, because you can't tribute
and
summon.
Monarchs, because they can't tribute summon and stuff. And
Those
like,
random decks that tributing hurts.
Yeah, definitely random decks. It's kind of a bad card, but at the same time, like, your opponent might be like, oh, it's a bad card, I'm not going to be that affected by it, until they realize, oh, wait, I'm kind of screwed here. Like, I played one guy on DN, and he was playing Dragon Rulers, and I slapped that on the field, and he had to banish his whole hand for Dragon Rulers to like summon Heliopolis and nuke my board, and he just kind of left Zombie World because he thought his 2 monsters would be enough, and I just sort of took him to town. This is another card, Imperial Iron Wall. It's pretty good against Boojins, Dragon Rulers. It's not the most optimal, but it's still pretty good. You might want to consider it.
They're still going to against Prophecy, or Prophecy beyond that now?
I think it's still pretty good against Prophecy. If they're running like World or multiple World, like Imperial Iron Wall isn't going to do as much because they're just going to go World and then try to nuke your board. So you might want to be a little bit more cautious. Okay, so when Primal Origins comes out, I thought Chaos Trap Hole is a card you might want to be considering. And if you're playing against Boojins, like this is still a really good card against them because it kills Yamato. They can't really do anything to stop it. And, you know, you're kind of home free, unless they Boojin Carnation, and then you're screwed. Okay, any deck that, like, spams, like, Girgia is probably going to be considered the best deck of this format before Primal Origins, and it spams a lot. If Infernity are still around, they can always, like, still loop you, and they might run the more Synchro-centric version, and just, like, go in. And I know, like, Sylvans after Primal Origin are going to spam a lot, so this card is still really good. And Water is still like a real deck. They're probably just going to run more salvages or something like that to get back their guns and stuff. But it's still a good deck, and you might want to consider like how people might be playing that deck to win. Another really good card still is Overworked. Fire Fist, or like the 3.5 axis deck with Rekindling and Wolfbark, still have like all the same plays.
Just not rekindling.
Yeah, they only have
And
one
one
Rekindling and one Wolfbark, but they're still like really explosive decks, and they can still get to their combo really quickly and put a big presence on board and like still control the game really well.
I feel like even if you just had a bear with Overworked, like it's done its job at that point.
Yeah.
Anything more, you're just pretty much sitting in the clear.
The card's really good, and it's still really good against Harpies, and like if you don't have enough cards for the Boojin matchup, then I would definitely consider Overworked as a card. Like if nothing else, to like waste a turtle so you can push over that
Waste of hair.
Yamato, the hair. Sorry, not the turtle. Divine Wrath. This is a card that I think is really good, and even though it's kind of generic, but it's really good against Prophecy. It's okay against Boojins. It's really good against Insectors. Like Overwork's good against Insectors, by the way. It just sort of like stops the effect, kills the card, and you don't have to worry about it. It's probably for something like that you need to worry about a lot of negation. Or, well, that you want to negate their stuff a lot more, but it's still really good. Transmigration Prophecy.
Cards at 1 for a reason.
It's pretty good. Like, I know I played Insectors on DN, and this card just, like, really stops them, puts, like, back Ladybug and such. And, I don't know, just a solid card. Black Horn of Heaven. If Giria becomes, like, the best deck, it's a deck that XYZs a lot. And it's still really good against Hieratic, still really good against Boojins, still really good against Fire Fist. Like the only deck it's not good against would be like Harpies or Dragon Rulers. This card is like amazing.
Even against Dragon Rulers, it's pretty.
Yeah, they go Felgran. Like it doesn't cost anything. It's a 1-for-1, and maybe a -1 to your opponent when they use cards to overlay. If you're in a lot of mirror matches, I really don't recommend this card right now. I mean, I'd wait to see what goes on in the format. But Retort, I mean, I guess if you're in the Gear matchup and they go Gear, you can go like Retort, or like they Fiendish Chain. You can like Fiendish Chain, take their Fiendish Chain. Like, people run a lot of the same cards. This card's not bad, like, especially if you're playing Prophecy, like mirror matches or something like that. Like, you're going to play a lot of the same cards, and this card's still really good. Like, you might want to consider it. Debunk. It's really only good against Boojins, Water, Dragon Rulers. Card's $15 because it went up like crazy. I mean, I like it. Like, it's alright cards. Countertrap, banishes something. One thing you might want to know is if you're playing against Boojins and they drop Crane, there's a ruling on Debunk that cards that activate or like in the hand and go to the graveyard, like, they don't get banished. So, like, if they drop their Crane and you debunk it, the Crane still goes to the graveyard. It doesn't get banished. And same thing with, like, a Dragon Ruler. If it activates its effect in hand, like Redox, and you debunk it, it doesn't get banished.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, check the ruling, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I mean, with all these, like, Floodgate cards, and cards like Heiser Coliseum, and I don't know, Fiendish Chain lying around, like, there are a lot of traps still played, and that might be true even after Primal Origins. The only thing that's going to change in Primal Origins, there's going to be like a lot more artifacts sitting around, but this card is still good until then. Full House. Not just a great 90s show.
Oh, I get it. That was
funny. A lot of people don't realize this card works even with, like, when you activate stuff. So if I activate Mirror Force on your attack, and it's considered face up, so then I can overwork at that point and just kill all your back row. And a lot of people don't realize that. Or I guess if you Mirror Force me, I can you Full House you, and then kill your back row. Or I can even target mine. Another thing is, like, if I set Full House and I already have a set, I still, like, retain player priority to activate my Full House that I have had set, even though I set something, because you can't chain to player interaction, if that makes sense. So something you might want to keep into consideration if you're trying to play around it. Dust Tornado, always good. I don't think you have to explain this one. You might even main it. I think 7 Tools is another good card that does the same thing as Dust, because you still have to set it. The cool thing about 7 Tools is you can, like, wait till your opponent activate something and they feel like they're safe because you haven't killed it, and then you just, like, end the chain.
Hey, just watch out for 7 Tools, guys. Those Floodgate cards, like, if people know you've sided in 7 Tools, they'll just flip them early, and that can be bad.
Just try to be, like, patient with your 7 Tools, and, like, make sure you pick it when it's a time, like, that you cause further minus to your opponent. It's a really great card. This is another really good card, like, against multiple Floodgates. It's Fairy Wind. I played it in YCS Chicago, and, like, I burned, like, 2 people per game because it does 300 burn damage per face up, and and that of course includes cards in chains. So I don't know, like it's just a really good burn card, and it's good in Boojins because you poke for a lot of damage with big monsters, and you just like get them down. I think it's pretty good in time even, because people get desperate, and like if you just need like a little bit of, I mean I guess it's the same amount of damage, but you might be able to make it work in your favor. Twister, this card is $15 also for some god awful reason.
The rares aren't.
The rares aren't, or the commons, but the ulti is. It's a good card. Like the fact that you can play it on your turn is good. So if you're playing like water still, and there's defizz or a macro, you can just Twister and then go off on your play, and that's cool. The only other cards I can think of that are really good side cards are like Banisher of the Radiance and Fossil Dyna Pachycephalo. Just good cards against any deck that like spams a lot.
I feel like Fossil Dyna is kind of hard to pull off this format.
Fossil Dyna is hard to pull off this format just because it doesn't have a lot of attack. 1200 isn't a lot, and pretty much everything has a beater in it. Like I don't know, I can't see it being that amazing, but at the same time it's still an option if you're playing something like Traptrix, which plays a lot of stun. I guess you can use it against like Constellar and Evil Swarm to like pop it, since you don't have Morphing Jar number 2 anymore. Anyway, the big three: DD Crow, Maxi, and Veiler.
This one, guys, it's really good.
Yeah, this card, this card's really good. Like, it's a dark, kills your opponent's stuff, makes their stuff miss timing. I mean, I think it's really good against pretty much everything but Kyrgia. It's okay against Boojin. Fire Fist, like the 3X, they go Rekindling, you can at least get like something out.
It used to stop Wolf Bark. Used to be a lot more.
Yeah, no.
But you know, they're starting to play Call the Haunted to like make up for the lost Wolf Bark. So if you can banish their Wolf Bark, like
pretty good.
Yeah.
Veiler's good, generic. Oh, also Dragon Rulers. Like I assume that a lot more Dragon Rulers, even with the Dragon Rulers at 1, there'll be more.
I mean, yeah, especially coming out of Las Vegas, where Buja and Dragon Rulers were like the top 2 decks, and neither of them got touched.
Yeah.
Gonna watch for those.
Even in Zectors, like don't play their game. Just banish their Hornet. Just like you can't play Yu-Gi-Oh now. Anyway, Veiler, good against Hieratics, good against stuff. Be careful about like people playing around your Veiler. Like if they have Fiendish Chain, and like there's a ruling with like you can't negate something that's already being negated. So like if they summon like Rescue Rabbit and you Veiler their Rescue Rabbit, they can chain their Fiendish Chain, and then they can pay the cost to banish their rabbit later and not be affected by Veiler because it's already currently negated by something, and then they get their effect, and it's like really cool.
That's cute.
Yeah, there's really interesting plays with Excited Knight, where people like will finish their Excited Knight, then lance their Excited Knight, and then activate Excited again. Well, after the Excited, you'll get it. Dark Worlds, like everybody I know, like
it's coming back.
It's a good deck.
Somebody's like, hey guys, with Boojins, they're not siding DeFi anymore, and now everyone's cracking open their structure decks.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Gemini Imps is a card that you might want to consider. Like, I never liked it, but
Oh, really? I love that one.
it's a -1 to your opponent. Like, it's something you can consider. Some other cards you might want to consider are like Mind Crush.
Yeah, Mind Crush Grappa.
Don't Mind Crush Grappa, but
Mind Crush the field spell.
Mind Crush Field Spell, Mind Crush Dark World Dealings.
I like Mind Crush against a lot. You should Mind Crush.
Yeah.
Because, like, attack with Yamato, Call Crane, like...
I mean, if they attack you with Yamato, don't willy-nilly. That's another reason why I like Divine Wrath. Because if I play against somebody who sides in Mind Crash, or Mind Crush, like, I just, like, Divine Wrath their monster. If I can get them to, like, activate a monster effect. Unlike...
There's a lot, like, Phoenix Wing Wind Blast is a lot better for that.
Yeah. You might even consider siding Phoenix Wing Wind Blast or Regeki Break, because they can kill stuff. Anyway, if there's something you want to talk about in the comments, like maybe share some information to your fellow players, like I'm sure they appreciate it. This is a rough time, this pre-Primal Origins season. But anyway, keep dueling, and play hard, I guess.